Hey guys, what's going on? Liberation Day has come and gone. I'm not exactly sure what we're being liberated of. We're still working on figuring that part out. Pretty sure the 1% are extremely happy. The rest of the 99%, or let's say 90%, those out of the 10%, it's going to be a little tough. Let's not pretend. It is what it is. It's going to be a little tough. We need to be smart with money at this point. Hold on to as much money as we can, save, and just be smart about spending, especially when it comes to blowing money or anything like that, because with all these job firings going on in the government, I'm starting to suspect that a lot of people are still going to lose their job. A lot more people, no matter what, especially with what's going on. I know you guys seen what's going on with HHS, the health department. A couple days ago, people go into the office, their badges would not open the doors, and some of them, that's how they found out they were fired. Other people are just receiving the emails from the government, which is not making it any easier. And that kind of ties down to even the Department of Education obviously being dismantled. You know, FAFSA, a lot of students are trying to apply for financial aid to go back to school. But now a lot of those people are losing their jobs. So then what are they supposed to do? You know, the student aid office that helps millions of people get FAFSA for college, the federal student loans, the Pell Grants. All these people are being fired slowly but surely, you know. And think of the economic hardship that these people are coming upon, having families to take care of and all of this stuff, and you're going to work, and that's how you literally find out you've been fired without even being formally told. And maybe they were emailed or something like that, but can you imagine the stress that these people are under right now? You know, yesterday, when it came down to the stock market, for the most part on Liberation Day again, the stock market was perfectly fine until Trump added an additional 10% of tariffs on these other countries for their imported goods. Now, what does this mean? Once again, for the bottom 90% of the economy, which is the majority of the people, products, goods, services, all the above will be far more expensive, which literally means we have to be smarter with how money is spent. And this is kind of what the direction that I'm talking from. So be smarter about how you're spending money. Make sure you're saving money, and kind of focus on the necessities for the time being, just because that's what'll be more important ultimately. The stock market is responding exactly how we expected. Currently the S&P 500 at close to close is down 4.5%. The Dow Jones is down 3.74%, and the Nasdaq is currently down 5.87%. The Dow alone being down 1,580 points, which was around its bottom peak earlier in the day, and that's kind of gone back to that is not shocking. It going down 3% in one day, and it's gone down a couple percent over the last couple weeks, shows us that we're in correction territory around 10%. This is also why I was saying in my other videos and shorts, if you're in the stock market, just be patient and hold off. Just because we know this correction will happen, but historically in the stock market, when a recession is near or something like that, it always bounces back up very well. Right now it's a bearish market. We all understand that. Shorters are loving the market right now. They're making all the money. We get it. Let them have their time. The market will bounce back, just kind of like the coronavirus time period. It's the same thing. It's going to drop really drastically, and it's going to rise back up from the dead. And same thing that happened in 2008 and on and on and on. It's happened many times, about 18 times total since like 1940. So just follow the history of the market. Generally, rule of thumb, that's just because of the average. It will respond back within a 10-month period, sometimes quicker, sometimes slower. That's just an average, since 1940. But this is a good time to buy stocks if you're not in the market, as most Americans are not. Tommy Lee coming out and saying, hey, these next 30 days will probably make more millionaires than any time period in the year. He's probably right. They have foreseen that this drop will happen once the tariffs hit. The drop has happened. Stocks are for sale. They're a lot cheaper with a lot of potential upside over the next few months or in the next 12 months, whatever it may be in that time frame. I'm not a financial expert. I'm just saying this is a place where you can invest funds and get a good return back. Think about it. You get paid, let's say you invest 10%. Instead of going to McDonald's or instead of going to Wendy's and making them richer, invest it in you. Give yourself a return over time. And you'll see how amazing that is over time once that builds up. Also on Liberation Day, some news came out about Charlie Javice. She literally frauded Chase out of $175 million. Now, banks have fallen for stuff like this in the past. If you ever heard of the story about Elizabeth Holmes, she valued her company, Theranos, at $9 billion for a device that should have been able to basically do a comprehensive blood test from one drop of blood, which I'm not sure that's scientifically possible, because then when you go to the hospital, why do they draw so much blood outside of obviously giving blood and stuff like that? But just for the blood testing, it's always like 2 or 3 tubes. There has to be a reason behind that, and there's probably the very reason why you cannot just take a comprehensive blood test out of one blood drop. Elizabeth Holmes was ordered to pay $452 million back in restitutions after all of that happened. Now, let's just be honest. If Elizabeth or Charlie, if either one of these women were black, this would not be a story. But, that's just a side comment. But these type of things do happen, and Chase is trying to go after Charlie for the $175 million. I just think it's their fault. They didn't do their due diligence. They didn't have enough proof of the company or anything like that. Why did they release $175 million to something that they did not do their own due diligence on? I think that's on Chase, not on Charlie. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about Liberation Day, man. A lot of things are happening. People are scared. I really hope not too many people lose their jobs in this economy, because companies may be trying to cut cost, so they may be firing people. A lot of things can definitely go wrong in this time period. It's a really peculiar time, but I do want to know how you guys are thinking about this, what you guys think the economy will look like over the next 12 months, and what are you doing to prepare for this? Because there are many guys on YouTube or daily news that are talking about this and kind of giving financial tips and all of that stuff. But I want to know, are you guys actually preparing for this? Because it's here. This recession, every president wants to avoid a recession on their time, but it has to happen at some point. We've been avoiding it, but it has to happen at some point. So what are you guys doing to prepare for this? Let me know in the comments, y'all. And thank you guys for watching, man. Peace out, y'all. Thank you very much for your time today, guys. Definitely like and subscribe, and we will have much more coming for you. Have a good one.